In Advice Pod. My name is Kyle. This is Raysean and our friend Kelly. Kelly,
hello.
Welcome back, man. We missed you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
No, thanks for dropping in to do one with us. This is going to be a fun week of content. We're going to do this first one. It is an r/casual conversation. Nice, easy way to get the week started. It says here, does anyone else get a strong attachment to something for a brief time? I have watched through one of my favorite shows twice now, and I'm in love. I love the characters, plots, everything. It's weird. Even with how much I love it, I still see the flaws in it, but I love it anyway. That's exactly how I feel about Dragon Ball. Anyone else got this? Anyone else got this way about shows, movies, music, actresses, whatever? So I feel like I picked this one because it says specifically for a brief time. I feel like I get a little hyperfixated on things every once in a while. And that's the only thing that I'll give a shit about for like, I don't know, a few days to like a few weeks. And I'm going through one of those phases right now. Do you want me to start, guys, or do you guys want to talk about some things that you get hyperfixated on first?
I can go first real quick.
Go for it.
Some stuff I get hyper focused on usually be like fantasy or anime related. Usually be like something like kind of like focus my attention on something specifically. Recently, it was the Harry Potter movies for a while. I wanted to watch all Harry Potter movies. Then I was listening to all the podcasts and I was learning about all the background of the characters' lore.
What made you in 2024 want to learn more about Harry Potter?
I don't even know. It's like I just wanted to. I watched one movie and I was like, let me remember how this stuff was. And I was like, that first movie wasn't bad. Like, animation wise, then I started watching them all. Then I, for some reason, was like, what was the story even about? For some reason, I was like, I feel like I never remember what the story was about. Then I went back and started
wizard school, man.
But what was
Harry Potter?
The main thing, like, you know what I mean? Then learn more about Voldemort and what he was actually trying to do. Then like the book versus the movies, then start learning more about the author and then how people hate the author, and then I'm like, this is so crazy to know all
so
this.
For you to want to go out and proactively learn about Harry Potter in 2024, were you seeing J.K. Rowling catching all the trans hate? We've talked about J.K. Rowling as a trio so many times. It's so funny this has come up. Yeah. It's not like you're like, hey, let me go rush to my aid of my lady and support her IP. It's you're just genuinely curious to see if there's like any kind of transphobic views or points of view in the books. Is that what you're doing?
No, I was literally just trying to watch it. Like I was just watching a movie.
I ruined it.
Like I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about like trans stuff. Like that type of like my mind don't ever go to like that. Like when people talk about that afterwards, that's when I'd be like, oh, I didn't even notice that. Like if they had any trans things in the Harry Potter movies, I really didn't notice that. But
I don't think they have.
I think the movies are good, but like the difference between the movies and the books, like when you hear people tell it, because there's a lot of different Harry Potter fans out there, and it's crazy because one of the actresses actually came out recently and was like, you know what, it's crazy how old some of these fans are and want us to still be in these characters. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious. But
yeah, the idea of adult Harry Potter fans being as insufferable as like some Disney adult kids, they're
like, well, this is supposed to be for kids, but I got
grown
40-year-olds.
It was that shitty old teacher, the woman. What's her name?
Well, she's nice in the movie, like the
I thought she was
the plant
evil.
Teacher. It's the plant teacher, Miss Hodgebot. No, I can't think of her name.
The herbologist teacher is
yes, the one that pulled out the plant. Yes,
I thought she was secretly a villain, though.
No, it's you're talking about Umbridge.
Sprout. Oh, I'm talking about Umbridge.
I'm so mad because that was easy too. It'd be the easy ones, and then it'd be like, you remember this motherfucker, Dumbledore, but Sprout.
I mean, Dumbledore is the man, so.
And then learning the killing curses and stuff, which I can't remember none of the actual spells, but I didn't realize a certain
Damn, Kelly.
I'm a Harry Potter adult. So
Welcome back, dude. Welcome back with your Harry Potter nerd nonsense.
Thank you.
But then, I mean, I recently got into the Chucky movies. And I don't know. I just have moments where I like just dive deep into something, listen to podcasts about it, try to learn about the behind the makes of stuff.
Yeah.
It just be whatever recently, because I had it on the slime anime just recently. Had to go back, listen to podcasts about how strong are these characters,
So,
how like from
how
each,
long how long will a phase like this last for you though? Like how long have you been doing this Harry Potter arc?
Oh, that phase is over. I did it. That was actually going to see you guys because I watched the last time I watched it was on the airplane coming to see you. That was watching Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, okay. And just for the listeners' sake, we talked about it on the Patreon pre-show for Super Dope. Sometimes they get these early, but it is a year ago today that the three of us sat in a hotel room together at the fucking one of the Holiday Inn Express. We sat together at a Holiday Inn Express and we recorded a few episodes of the show together.
It was a Holiday Inn Express.
What a fucking good time.
Holiday.
That was a year ago today. So that's why. Okay, every time Harry Potter has come up in the last year, your response has always been, "Oh, haha, Harry Potter," because you get the reference and where it's coming from, but that's not been your response to it. I don't know. I think that's hilarious. Kelly, what's a thing that you've been maybe inappropriately focused on or hyper focused on? Because I think that's what this question is. It's like an ADHD thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, like the thing is that like hyper focusing on fictional characters is like a really big part of my personality, actually. Like I will look up fan art and read fan fiction and watch the show like 100 times, and then I'll think about the characters in different scenarios, which is really weird. And then the thing that sucks is that my hyperfixations sometimes pass and are very brief, right? And it'll be like a month where I was just really into something, but sometimes they stick around for a long ass time. And then I just feel weird about it.
Long ass time, like your whole life, or long ass time, like a year, a few years?
Like several years.
Give me an example of a thing that is stuck around for a minimal amount of time, like a few days to a week, versus something that you didn't think would stick around for forever, but has subsequently stuck around for forever.
Okay, so something that only stuck around for a little while, so because I'm like in it right now, is Blue Lock. I watched the Blue Lock anime.
What the fuck is Blue Lock? Oh, it's an anime. Okay.
Soccer anime. It's really good.
Soccer, like football?
Like football, yes. It's really good. Then I was like, the show ended, and I was like, be done with it. So then I had to read all the manga that's out, and then I had to like read fan fiction about it, which it has a very small fandom, which sucks. Then I had to watch all the little like clips that people make about it and like little cartoon things that they make about it, and then rewatch the show. So that's like my current hyperfixation.
How long has that one been going on?
Like a month and a half, 2 months ish.
Cool. And it's a newer anime?
I think so. Maybe came out last year.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's super new. I was thinking like in the last 5 to 10 years. That's what's new.
Oh no, it came out like last year or maybe the year before. It's
you talking about Blue Lock?
Check it out. Yeah.
Pretty good. It's all about ego and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It is good. I like it.
Voice actors from that too.
Oh really? That's
Check out the Raysean Gatson anime podcast because he is putting in a lot of fucking work and talking to a lot of different voice actors about everything going on in the anime voice acting community.
Man,
nice.
I can't hear anything that's going on in your kitchen. All right, well, what about the one that you have hyperfixated on for the longest time then?
So not the longest time ever, but I'm obsessed with Zelda ever since the first
really?
Breath of the Wild or whatever game came out.
Okay.
So I think about him every day. Link, literally think about him daily, and all of his little adventures.
What sort of context? Like a sexy context?
No. I think Link is gay. He's like a little twink. Like, let's be real.
Okay.
Outfits that he has, I make him dress up in his little outfits. So fun. But no, just like all of his adventures, and like whenever I have to do something hard, I'm like Link had to fucking save the world twice. Like, this isn't even that hard if Link can do it. I went to a treetop adventure thing, which was like climbing around in trees with harnesses and shit. And I was like, I'm an
In real life,
adventurer.
you did this?
In real life, I did this just last week. Yeah, with the girls on vacation.
Get out of here. Oh, you guys
Crazy.
where'd you guys go on vacation?
Well, it was in Canton, Mass, so we like stayed local. We did like a local vacation, but we
That's
did
cool.
treetop adventures. It was so fun, but I was like, I'm an adventurer, like Link from those
I am
adventures.
Link. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I picked this because I am currently going through a very serious hyperfixation to the point where I'm spending dollars on it. So it is the 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and neither of you were really aware of what it was until I showed you a clip, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, that looks familiar. I recognize it at least." Space Ghost Coast to Coast came out in 1994, 30th anniversary. For that, Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, I'm not sure which of the two is doing it, but they've had a 24/7 live stream of episodes of Space Ghost going for a little over a week now. I feel like saying the name Space Ghost Coast to Coast says all that we need to say for the audience, but apparently not, because you guys had no idea what it was. So I'm going to do my best to give a very short breakdown of what it is in case anyone else is lacking that context. So in the 1960s, 1970s, Hanna-Barbera cartoon, animators, they had like a knockoff kind of generic sort of superhero called Space Ghost. They made like 22 episodes of it, and it wasn't very successful. So when Cartoon Network started in the early 90s, they really wanted to develop its own independent programming. So they hired a few people, Andy Merrill being the guy who made the pilot, to take this old Hanna-Barbera footage and recut it in a way where they could reuse the old animation and turn it into a talk show. So it is a talk show of a superhero, and they do live action interview segments with all sorts of people. The ones that have been on this loop, real quick: Conan O'Brien, Willie Nelson, Todd Barry, Busta Rhymes. The Busta Rhymes episode I've watched like 5 times in the last 7 days because it's so funny. Space Ghost and Zorak and Moltar and Busta just get high on natural gas and laugh the entire time. It is like such a bizarre fucking show, but I became like fascinated in the history of it because I watched it a lot when I was a kid, and like my dad and his friends, like my Uncle Steve and Uncle Julius, they all loved it. And I don't think I realized the brilliance that I was watching when I was a child. I just thought it was like funny. It was an old cartoon and he made it funny, whatever. Holy shit, man. The comedic relevancy that show has until this goddamn day, it is inspired directly and directly inspired so many things. It's just so good, man. To the point where I've spent dollars on it now. This 24/7 block they keep repeating, it's just like 2 hours of Space Ghost content. They're like 15-minute episodes approximately. So, it's like 8 to 10-ish kind of episodes. They repeat them on a loop. And I've watched all of them at least 5 times a piece now. But I went out, I bought volume 1 and 2 of the DVDs on Amazon and eBay, respectively. Volumes 3 through 5. Wicked expensive, man. Like 60, $70 a pop. I don't want to spend that. I feel like a fucking dummy. I guess they had very limited runs of printing when they did those for whatever reason. I'm sure I'll buy them eventually. Maybe I should just pirate them like a normal fucking person would, but I like physical media. So that's my current hyperfixation, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to go on for, but in the last few days, I've hatched a plan to do a Space Ghost Coast to Coast podcast. I figured out a way to contact at least Andy Merrill. He's the guy who made the original pilot and was the voice of Brack, if you know the Brack show. And I just have all these ideas. And that's what sucks when you make podcasts and you get hyperfixated on things. You're like, I can make a podcast about this. One time a few years ago, I got hyperfixated on the WMAC Masters. It's a fucking bullshit karate show from 1995. That's kind of like the WWE, but like also mixed with like kind of Saved by the Bell a little bit.
What?
I could seriously talk to you about that series for days and days and days. I got hyperfixated on it for 2 days. I read a whole book about it. I contacted the producer And the creator of the show, the producer of the show, Norman Grossfeld, he's the guy who wrote the fucking Pokemon theme song. Yes, that Pokemon theme song. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. I was gonna fucking interview that guy, interview the creator. She was a character. She kind of shut the whole thing down, honestly, because she was going through one of those like manic moments where she was going to get the show back together 30 years later and do a reunion and kick it off on a streaming platform or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm just saying, like, my hyperfixations get to that level where I'm like, I need to talk to the person who made this fucking show and get some answers. So hopefully my Space Ghost fixation only lasts for a few more weeks, but we'll see.
Did you almost had an interview, or did you like? Was it almost a thing or something?
What, with the WMAC Warriors, Bastards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I read the book, talked to Carlin, talked to Norman. They were both down. I talked to at least like 4 of like the 10 fighters on that show. One of them is Chris Kazamaza, who was the original Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie. I also talked to Hakeem the Machine Alston, who was also in the first Mortal Kombat movie. Bridget Baby Doll Riley actually lives in Warwick, about like 20, 30 minutes from where I live. She's a Rhode Island native. I was going to go interview her in person. It was like maybe a year after COVID started, like 2021. I was in my house for a year at that point and got hyper fixated and decided I was going to do all this good work. And then I was like, yeah, who cares? That's how it really is, though. I feel like I have undiagnosed ADHD. Hey, this has been a first fun segment back for Kelly, but I'm curious. What are your hyperfixations in terms of like media or art or whatever the heck, music? I get hyperfixated on songs. I could talk about songs that I can listen to.
Make sure you like the post.
Repeat. Oh shit, yeah. Make sure you like the video. It's a video on YouTube. Raysean took his glasses off, dude. I feel like I can't make eye contact with you now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not saying you got to put them back on, but it's so funny that I'm trying to communicate through my eyes to a Raysean that's way back there. All right, so let us know your favorite stuff or whatever in the comments. Hyperfixations, that's what we're talking about. And we will talk to you tomorrow, wherein we're going to be talking about, it's an Am I the Asshole, about, you know, fighting with your half sister. You ever fight with your half sister, guys?
We all fight with siblings, you know.
Anyway, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Make sure you like the post, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to
1 million.
Fair enough. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Hit fights.
And don't be a butchie.